bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets claws real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling this war. Never getting bored, loves the blood and gore. Always wanting more, freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped. You'll be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. If you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no legs, it'll kill when I'm desperate.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Everybody welcome into Real Talk with Spoon and Pudding. I'll be the one and only Big Spoon.
I'll be the pudding. And we should rotate the size, but whatever. It is whatever.
Well, I can leave and come back in, don't mind.
Oh, God. We don't need that.
Spoon and Pudding do not offer advice and services to anyone. Spoon and Pudding, we don't accept a liability responsibility for anyone's guests or comments, or anyone's comments based on material we talk about on this podcast. This podcast is private and non-commercial use. Everyone should ascertain the information that we provide is correct and verified at all times. There shall be no adding to any reproduction without prior written permission from Spoon. You can reach us at realtalkwithspoonandpudding@gmail.com. Bye, Felicia.
We're caught up with Bye, Felicia. I brought it to your attention this morning that we'll start with the local stuff this week. When I seen it real early, an ex council member was talking about if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'm going to unfriend you. And then I guess it was 5-6 hours ago, something like that. And I said, bye then. My wife said, tell him to say bye, bitch. You know, that's what she wanted me to say. But I was typing a long thing. I was like, well, bye, motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, we've invited you on our platform. We want to make a better community, but you want to run on and do your own thing. Just like I told you a long time ago, Spoon, when you were running for mayor. And then he dropped the council bullshit and tried to run as a ride-on, and then he lost his seat.
Yeah.
And
how well that worked?
It worked out.
I mean, I wasn't going to win the mayor spot anyway. So
you wasn't going to win it, but he took votes from you and he lost his seat. And in the end, he's a petulant child. I don't really know any other way to say it. We've invited him on here. He wanted to come on here. He wanted to talk. But then all of a sudden, last minute, he's got to run to Lafayette to do some bullshit that go fuck yourself, Dillard. Sorry. I'm sorry. I really don't know any other way to say it. So I unfriended him this morning because I'm like, I'm not giving you the privilege to unfriend me. I wrote bye then. I put 2 laughy emojis because I don't give a shit about your stupid channel. You're running around making no sense. Huh?
Ain't that kind of like a hostage takeover? Yeah.
What?
You're only going to be my friend if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, fuck you. I don't want to be your friend then, bitch. I mean, there's no other way to say it. You're so damn roped up in trying to make yourself a platform for Portland, Tennessee, and in the end, you're doing nothing but putting more of a shit stain on the piss poor town that it already is. I mean, honestly.
But he had one. All he had to do was stay on the board. He could have made a difference.
Huh? Well, yeah, he could have shut the fuck up and stayed in his lane.
So he
wasn't in a place to get out of his fucking lane, but he got out of his fucking lane and he did it anyway. And he rode up and down the strip on a tractor, blocking traffic. Like, this is the way people will like me. Let me block traffic. Fuck you, dumbass. Because I had to sit and go around your stupid ass on your tractor for whatever.
Well, let's be realistic. You know, I wasn't going to win that mayor race anyway, and I know that. But I was getting my name out there, and I done it. I done it by myself. You know, I didn't go out here and get money.
I get it. You didn't go and you didn't grovel to the Donahos, and you didn't grovel to the Collinses and all the other money people in town, and you didn't say, I'm going to do whatever y'all want me to.
But in the end, Mr. Dillard thought he was so highly liked that this old fat boy had never been on the council, never run for anything in politics. In the end, got 20% of the vote of what went out and got voted. I think we got 27 or 28 together. So that means he got like 6% of the vote, right? And he turned some of those votes back to Callis. So if he would have kept his council seat and stayed in, I think I might have got like 35% of the vote. Which is that great?
You could have had a better showing in local politics. And again, I didn't want to make this a local show, but I messaged you and I started talking to you, and
but you got to play. It's never been in politics not run and get 35% of the vote against a sitting mayor. That's a pretty good deal if the things would have went right, and maybe that would have turned some heads to people that don't vote, and some of the ones that do go, hey. Maybe our mayor's not as great as what he's doing if he's lost 35% of the vote to somebody that shouldn't even be running. You know, that's the point I was getting across.
My point is to sit there and publicly put out on your social media bullshit that if somebody's not subscribed to your YouTube channel, they are not your friends no more. Then you don't understand social media. You don't understand anything because
we got so many different followers over you. We got YouTube, we got Facebook, we got Twitter.
I don't. Twitch. And again, if you
they're
don't,
not all the same people, you know.
But my point has always been, and the way I've always felt about any of this is less is more. If you don't like us, turn us off, delete us. I don't care if you're never a friend or never follow us again. Nothing here has ever been about monetization. Nothing here has ever been about getting to a number and making some big push or whatever for anything. It's been about what's a better community. It's it. It's all it's ever been. And that's what. No. Again, Dillard, when you was a Congress or a city council member, that was what it was about. It's a better community. It's a better community. Not about your fucking opinion. Or what you think is right. Fuck you and your opinion. You can stick it up your ass. All right, there you go. Nobody gives a shit. I've complained about the police and sitting out here and all this other bullshit. I'm tired of it.
But what do you accomplish by harassing them every day? What do you? I mean, really,
nothing. You're not getting nowhere. You're going to the back of the line and you're ostracizing yourself. Is all you're doing, Dillard. So continue. Bye-bye, Felicia. I mean, that's why the episode is titled "Bye, Felicia."
I mean, I get it if you actually catch them doing something and you're going to make a difference, but to just be following around and berating them every day, whatever cops you see. I mean, what do you really? I mean, you're not proving anything, you know. I can say when I talked about Mr. Craddock and his speed up in 65 in Kentucky, one day when he was going home from work. He was running about 75 miles an hour. I can say.
Oh, you caught him again?
Well, passed him and went off left him. He was only running about 75. And I'm thinking to myself.
So apparently, Big Spoon affected a good positive change.
But I wasn't
throwing it crying. You've affected shit.
I wasn't trying to rag him or get him in trouble or nothing. I just want him to be cautious and slow down. Leave 10 instead of running 100 miles an hour. You know. And since then, I haven't seen him running.
Well, that's good. He shouldn't be speeding. He shouldn't be running 90, 100 on his way from Bowling Green to work. In my opinion, he shouldn't be in the squad car. But that, my opinion, matters fuck all to this town.
Right.
Okay?
I don't think he should either. But in all in all, that doesn't mean he's a bad guy. That doesn't mean he's a bad officer. You know, just he was doing something that wasn't really great at the time, and we all do that. You know. But the point I was trying to make here is I've talked to several people in the last few weeks. You discussed it because people keep asking me, "Are you going to run for council?" And And I said, "Yeah, I plan on it, but I've had some health stuff going on in my life, so I'll have to wait."
Well, we talked about that this morning a little bit.
We'll have to wait until it gets close to that time.
I do try to be quiet, especially on social media. I don't talk about much, but my dad just got out of surgery with a stent today. So we're good on that, and that was good. You know, they were talking about triple bypass. I was like, "What the fuck?" Where'd that come from?
Even though put agnostic, all the Christians like me will be praying for his father, and his father is fine with that, so we don't have to worry.
Well, he can be an asshole, but I didn't think they would take him this young. I thought assholes lived to 95 or something. That's why I've been trying my whole life.
If that's the case, you'll live to be 120, my friend.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
I won't make it to 50, but you'll be 120.
Oh Lord. No, you won't make it to 50 because of your own issues. But
anyway,
Mr. Spoon has said something about, do you want to talk about your issue or no?
No.
Okay. I figured I'd give you the opportunity. Not
personal stuff, no. About the city council, yeah. People's been asking, we've been talking. I mean, you talked about it. No. Once Dillard gave up his seat, and I ran for council, say I won one of the seats, and there's 4 open. What does one person do? Because we've seen Dillard sit on there for a few years, and he was trying some positive things, different from the.
I didn't. You told me he was trying for positive, but I've always joked, if you just run in there as one of 7, and you're screaming and spinning around like
8. You might as well say 8 because you got 7 council members and the mayor, and if 6 of the board is tied in with the mayor, you got 7 against 1. And that's my point across the people I've been talking to. I mean, you've been talking here the past few weeks, but unless you're going to flip over 3 or 4 seats, what good are you going to do?
No. Well, I mean, Dillard could probably easily win back his seat from the wonderful
wasted space.
Well, there's a couple wasted spaces, but I mean, there's 4 wasted spaces this year. But
I think McDowell's is up. Brian Woodall's is up.
McDowell not standing. Well, I would say McDowell not standing up
Barnes
for allowing McDowell not standing up for Dillard to speak. I mean,
you give him his free speech. Yep, all of them.
You violated the man's First Amendment. Let him speak. And in the end, he's not the brightest. He ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. The more he talks, the more he buries himself to be like, there's a good reason he's not on the board.
We talked about that. We probably didn't want to hear what he had to say, but that wasn't the point. The point is he
didn't really say nothing in the end. He just talked in circles about, whatever. He didn't bring nothing. He always talks about he's got all this information. It's like, well, good for you. Show the information. Then this morning he wants to post, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you'll be off my friends list. I'm like, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. And I unfriended him. I'm not giving him the opportunity to unfriend me. I just wrote bye then, and I put 2 laughy faces, and I bounced.
But
I get about 5 or 10 minutes, and I bounced. What
I'm saying about the council is you got Barnes' seat up, Woodall's, McDowell's, and I forget her name. It's the one that took Tom. Latoya.
Ebony and Ivory or whatever.
Say I take Latoya's seat,
and you're still sitting.
Let's go another way.
You could attempt to negotiate with McDowell. I know Jody will talk, but you and Jody ain't shifting shit on that council.
No, Penny Barnes run for school board. So say she decides not to run her seat, but Woodall runs again, he gets his back, and McDowell runs and gets his back, and Latoya runs and she gets hers back.
Nothing changes.
Where's the change going to come from?
There is
none of them up there like me, probably, and I don't care. That's their opinion. And I don't think they like most of them. If they don't like me, because of they don't like me because they don't know me, or they don't like me because they do know me. It's because the things I say and the truthful things I say, and my opinion, and it hits close to home. And that's okay. Everybody has their opinion. They don't have to like everybody. I love everybody that sits up there, but I don't like the decisions they make, and I have the right to speak on them. So,
because they are voting in the self-interest of the money powers in town. Period. That's it.
We got to think. What you look around how you sat on your council. Okay, you got Bake, loan management guy, and real estate. You got real estate. You got Colin's daughter, who is still in other things, and her brother's has a construction company. So, I mean, if you just break down that everybody sets up there, They have their own personal agenda to sit there. Okay. And you can't tell me, just like what's his name that a lot of people don't like. He has his own podcast and stuff, and he's the real monogamous guy that the women don't like. That he tells it how it is. The monogamous guy, bald headed, real rich. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the guy they keep Tate? Andrew Tate?
Yeah, Andrew Tate. A lot of people don't like Andrew Tate, but a lot of what it says is true. And he tries to tell people, he says, if you went to inner city Brooklyn or somewhere like that and had a blacktop basketball game and there was $10,000 on the line, do you think those guys would cheat to win that $10,000? Absolutely. If you go into the little inner and they could cheat and they could make an extra $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, you think line and cheat to us to make 30? Absolutely. You think the federal sons of you know what up there in Washington don't lie and cheat and steal to make a couple million a year? Absolutely. But you want to look at me like I'm the asshole because I pointed out. Okay, I'll wear that title. You can put it here. You can put it wherever you want to put it. You know?
Well, I'm different in a way because I look at the big dollars and money as irrelevant when you can just print it. You know, that's where you sit there and you follow the downstream arguments of people trying to make 6 figures, 8 figures, whatever. And you follow that downstream argument, but then you realize that the guys at the top can just print 8, 9 figures on a balance sheet. What do they care? 10 figures, put it on a balance sheet. What do they care?
Never been the kind of person that even looked at the numbers of what you would make. Like I say this all the time. Wouldn't it be nice to hit $1 billion lottery? No, like the second day I'd be like, what the hell have I got myself into? I've always wanted to be the kind of person that I just want to be content enough that my bills are paid, my family's taken care of, and I don't have to worry about if I'm going to make the next house payment or, you know, that kind of contentment. I don't want to be filthy rich. Of course, I want to be able to help a lot of people, but when you get into a certain stage of it, the money doesn't make me happy. You know, I wouldn't live much different than I live now. You know, I might build me another house out back on my back part and still have this. The clothes I wouldn't wear any different because I like to be comfortable. My truck is going to be about the same because I don't want nothing more than the truck, you know. But you got the people that they want. They got to have. I've never been that type of person.
Well, I've never looked at a big dollar bank account as defining to anything.
So if I get on $100,000 a year and all my bills are paid and we're content, and we can go on vacation a time or two and just live a content, happy life, I'm good. And if it takes you $1 million, hell, take you $1 million. I don't need it, you know. That's the type of person I am.
I don't, like I said, but my whole point of this and the whole reason I started messaging you was when I seen that post, I thought, yeah, I hope that's the death of your social media. I hope that's what kills you. I mean, honestly.
I try to like Dillard, and we get along to a certain extent. When
you fly straight in the face of everyone who's been a passive supporter of you and say, if you're not subscribed to then we're not
YouTube channel.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. In the end, that's where I want this to end.
It's like he's jealous in the end, you know.
It's what?
Can admit it. It's like he's jealous in the end. Everybody can admit the only reason your chamber, Portland, Tennessee, has their own podcast that they pre-record and pamper questions to is because we started our podcast. That's the only reason they started theirs. All right, and this whole thing with Dillard,
I just want
YouTube channel and all that. It's because of what we do, but we don't talk about the things he wants us to talk about.
But you can contest, Spoon, that I was against the whole local thing in the beginning. I didn't want to even go here.
I understand.
I never wanted to flop down in it. I know you did, and we went in it, and it's fine. But you know, like I said, when you look at the world today, and you see, I've been seeing lots of videos about this.
Trump is out there selling Bibles. The second coming of Jesus, Donald Trump is selling Bibles. We got bigger things to talk about.
Does it start with pre-Genesis, the art of the deal? You know, the second best book ever behind the Bible.
I think it's just a blank Bible and it says I'm Trump. I am God. Buy my something like
Buy
that.
my
Written in-
buy my Bible.
written in crayon. Written in crayon.
No,
I
gold
got-
Sharpie. From what I
Gold
hear,
Sharpie.
Trump's all about the gold Sharpie, you know. So
And he got Biden. He
I'm
got
sure you
Biden.
get it right.
He got Biden to autograph every one he sells in the back.
Oh,
It's Trump's
what is it?
Bible,
Just
but
a
Biden's autograph.
autograph with the autistic Sharpie of gold.
Yeah.
Did Jill get her finger up his ass? Did Jill get her finger up his ass before he made the signature?
I said something about Trump being the second coming of Christ, and he sent them Bibles, and we dropped like 10 viewers.
Don't give a shit. Who cares? They can all turn off. I don't care.
Truth hurts you feelings.
Bye, Felicia. The whole
Bye,
point
Felicia.
is bye, Felicia. Unfriend us. I don't care.
Grow a sense of humor.
No. Well, I'm still big in the RFK camp. I mean, that's me.
I'm voting for unless libertarians pop somebody out better with a better running mate.
Unless the libertarians can actually bring someone better than RFK, I'm in with RFK.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just don't see them doing it.
I was hoping for the RFK Jesse Ventura or Ramaswamy.
RFK Ramaswamy, yeah, that would have been. I would have been. Oh yeah, RFK really wants to be president, and he wants a backup that they ain't going to take him out. That was the way I was looking at it, man. I mean, honestly, I was like, RFK wants somebody in the back that they don't want more than him. You know, just like Biden, he picked the worst possible person. Honestly, it's like, well, we can't let her be it. You know what I mean? We've got to figure out how to inject this old man with vitamins and roids and everything else to keep him going.
They still have that. Is that rumor of the last minute Michael Obama? I mean, Michelle Obama,
yeah,
jumping in and taking the Democratic nomination.
I see that as more viable than Biden Kamala 2024.
Well, I mean, I think that if Michelle Obama ran against Trump, she would win. I mean, that's my opinion. I didn't say I wanted her to win. I'm just telling you.
I'm with you, Spoon. I don't want her to win. I don't want it to win, but I believe that it would destroy the Trump ticket completely.
I mean, I don't necessarily want Trump to win either, unless he's going to do better things than he did the first time.
No.
What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Spend another
Trump
$12
Trump tweeted.
No. Prison.
Look, Trump tweeted his tweet. When it comes to Sandy Hook, I'm with Obama. He tweeted that. You can go look that up. It's history. Trump tweeted, I'd rather live one day as a lion than my whole life as a sheep. That's a Mussolini quote.
Yep.
These are all fascist statements. Trump wanted a military parade down Pennsylvania Avenue. Trump is not the guy you guys think he is. He went after bump stocks.
That's a Hitler move.
Bump stocks. Yeah, well, he went after bump stocks. He implemented red flag laws. Sad but true. Truth hurts.
He did more to take away your guns in 4 years than Obama did in 8. Let that sink in.
Yes, he did.
He spent twice as much money as Obama.
Twice as much money. Yes, exactly. Twice as much as Obama did. Almost. He was probably running about 180% of Obama. The whole president. Well, it wasn't the whole presidency. Then in 2020, he just opened the checkbook up and said, "Here, the government's got that."
Look, and we're
and I want to remind everyone about 2021 in January. He posted publicly that he would not sign the bill, the next $700 billion or whatever the fuck it was, the COVID bill. He was going to kick that to Obama and let Obama sign it. And then 4 or 5 days later, he put his signature on it. So he owned it. He owned it.
Biden. He was going to kick it to Biden.
He was going to kick it to Biden, but then So what I'm saying is that just tells me, just like the Godfather, what was it? Your brains or your signature on the contract.
That's right. And I know people get upset when you start talking about these things, but you got to understand, we are not two Democrats sitting up here talking your savior Trump, okay? We're not two Republicans up here talking bad about y'all savior Biden. All right, I belong to no political party. He leans more libertarians all the time. I lean more towards libertarians some of the time, but now we're leaning more towards RFK and independent this year.
Some independent, just something,
We're not. I'm not voting for Republican or Democrat ever again in my life until the thing's fixed.
Until there's a decent one. Well, it's got to be a decent one. I don't see a decent one.
Until they stop controlling everything and trying to eliminate, getting as many people in there as you can to vote for. Like, if you want a hamburger right now, house and drive 5 minutes and have 10 choices. A pair of shoes, a shirt, whatever, same thing. But the supposed president of the nation on the earth, you only get 2 choices, and your 2 choices is Trump and Biden. And y'all want to fight and argue against each other about that? You should be fighting and arguing why you don't have 500 choices to pick when you got those 2 choices to pick from. You think either one of those is the best representation of the country you call the United States of America, that you still call the greatest nation in the world? Number one, it's not the greatest nation in the world anymore, but let's just say it is. Is that the greatest representation that we can come up with? Is it? Absolutely.
It's the greatest. I think it's the greatest hope. I mean, I really do. I think it's the greatest hope for mankind. It's the greatest, but you gotta realize and step back to realize that no, it's only a great hope unless you're willing to step out of the normal. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. It's not how you make it.
You're an American.
You've got to step out and say, no, I'm an American. And we need this country to be better. Because right now we've got a foreign army that's invaded our soil. We've got, and from all different kinds of nations, not just one.
No, it's a lot.
Oh, no, they're coming from everywhere. They're here. And you've got to realize the setup. I mean, they're really setting this up for failure. And I don't know where it's going to go, but look, I have hope. I do have hope. I have hope in humanity. I don't have hope in
no political party.
Next election, the next political party. I don't have hope in none of that. No, I never will. My hope is in humanity.
We the people is how you got to have the hope on. And I get tired of hearing this from people that are so blindly, well, that's a miracle when you're talking about our government. Hello, we were founded tyranny. That's what our Constitution represents. It's right here behind my head. It's right here. Guess what? We were a tyrannical bunch of rednecks, and we started this great nation. We got away from the king.
We took as a nation, we took a stab in the dark and beat the most powerful global power on earth.
3 times, wasn't it? Wasn't it 3 times?
Huh? At least 2. It was 1812 and 1776. So,
well, first you got away from them. All right, so I count that as 1.
1776, and you beat them in 1812.
Then 2, and then the 1812 they come back and they got their ass kicked again. I'm saying you came over and started your little community over here and grew it, and the king was still over there. I count that as 1. 2, you got your 1780, 83 when it was 4. And then they come back in the
1760s. England supposedly sided with the South, which lost. And I don't consider the South losing. I consider it a mutual.
No, I'm talking about our revolution. It was finalized in like 1782, 83.
I was talking about 18. I mean, England backed the South in the 1860s. But they never really shown a lot of support to the South. I don't think the English realized
and all that,
The what?
I said you need to see all those massive ships arriving with troops in the South to go up north. Like at least France, when we were getting our revolution, we had support from France.
Well, you had the old Hickory, the Battle of New Orleans, If y'all live in the Nashville area and you haven't went to the Hermitage, I'd recommend it.
I went
to understand that,
I said I went times as a kid, like through school.
Got to understand old Hickory. And him just like Jefferson. I mean, they're a bunch of just oxymorons to themselves. I mean, honestly, as a true nonpartisan person looking back at it,
Yeah.
I got to look at them both as oxymorons. Had slaves, professed freedom, but it's kind of weird. But I guess you got to consider the time.
Yeah. I mean, all the people that try to claim our Civil War was over slavery, they don't know what history is. And,
No.
The North had slaves just like the South. Did they have the amount? Of course not. But then when they say slaves, which he didn't, the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves in the rebelling states, and then they recruited the North to help fight for them. The North still had their slaves,
Well,
it freed the slaves in the South of the rebelling states during the war, but the North still had and then they recruited the ones from the South. So who was wrong?
Well, that was just a tool. It was a tool of propaganda to try to
political tool. They used it to their advantage.
Well, and over time,
do you honestly think Abraham Lincoln cared anything about the slaves and them being free?
Nope.
At that point, absolutely not.
Lincoln, I believe the Lincoln quote was, "If I could put down the rebellion and free no slaves, I would. Yeah. If I could put down the rebellion and send all the slaves back to Africa, I would. If I could put down the rebellion and free all the slaves, I would." He didn't give a shit. He just wanted to put down a rebellion.
That's why when I look back in history, when I look at Stalin, I look at Hitler, Mussolini, Abraham Lincoln, I throw in there. When I look at those are no different, because Lincoln's no different than those guys, right? He's worse because he killed his own.
He was worried about his posterity and what the world thought of him. He wasn't worried about the freedom of the individual.
The Civil War never had to happen, and it didn't have to happen the way it happened. So y'all want to talk about how bad Hitler was and Stalin was? I would tell people who
believe the mainstream narrative of the Civil War to realize that Lincoln first sent a letter to General Lee to lead the Army of the Potomac, to lead the Army of the North. That's a fact. Lincoln sent General Lee a letter and wanted him to be the commanding army general of the North. And Lincoln resigned his position and said, "I am a Virginian first."
You mean Lee? Lee resigned.
Well, Lee. Well, did I say what I say?
You said Lincoln resigned.
Well, Lincoln's resignation letter was from Lee that I resigned. And he said, "I'm a Virginian first," And that was the way in the 1860s that most people were raised. Your country was your state.
You're at 30 minutes.
What?
You're at your 30-minute mark.
I've had my, okay. So anyway, your country was your state. That was your country. You were a Virginia, or you would be a Tennessee, and I'd be a Floridian. That was your country. You were under an umbrella country of the United States. Lincoln changed that. That's what Lincoln changed. He made everyone supposedly profess to be a United States citizen. That's what he changed.
So he helped take the power away from the states.
Yes, he took the teeth. He was the first person to break the state's teeth. The was it the 17th Amendment, or I'll have to look it up.
No, it's in my truck. So
it's in your truck. Your Constitution?
My miniature one I can flip over and read. My pamphlet one. I got one I can carry around on me all the time.
The 17th Amendment, Senate elected, passed by Congress May 13th, 1912, ratified April 8th, 1913. That's where they took the complete. That was the dentist that pulled the teeth out of the state when they allowed the senators.
And you said it was ratified in 1913?
Yeah, 1913. Same time as the banking.
Woodrow Wilson hit it home with a hammer, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. No, it was. You took the teeth. Lincoln broke the teeth of the states in the 1860s, and then they absolutely put the dentures in 1913. The states had no more power in the federal sphere. because they took it away from. Because before 1912 and 1913, the senators were sent to the federal government. There were 2 senators. They were sent by the state capital to represent the state's interest in the federal government. That's the way the framers originally.
And if they didn't represent, you recalled them and replaced them.
Yes, they didn't have to wait. They weren't there for 6 years, completely just running amok like stupid ass McCain. And I'm going to bring up McCain because it was the last time I voted for a fucking Republican. Period.
Dumbass. You're a dumbass.
Whatever. Kiss my ass. Dumbass. My point was the state of Arizona could have recalled his bitch ass and said, come on back home. You're not voting on the representatives or the representation of Arizona. They could have brought them back. But whatever. It is what it is. That was when we lost the country. The 17th Amendment was the coup de grace. It was the last nail in the coffin that put this republic to bed because they let the same dumbasses who vote for the same congressmen and the same governors, to send the senators up there. And then they left them for 6 years. What a crock. The Congress can flip every 2 years. You could turn the whole Congress over in 2 years, but the Senate stays.
Yep.
It's 1/3 every 2 years. 1/3 of the Senate's up for vote every 2 years. And then again, it's up to the electorate, which the electorate don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
What's almost 3:00? What time you get up?
I gotta go to bed soon. I gotta get up about a couple hours.
But the main point of all this, even with Dillard, you say bye, Felicia. I kind of feel the same way. If I got to be following you on all your social media,
if I've got to be on your YouTube channel, no.
Whatever. If you don't want to be my friend, don't be my friend. I don't care. Excuse me, but the point here is,
if friendship means I've got to be on your YouTube channel, no. Bye.
But the point is people shouldn't be so easily offended.
I'm not offended. I'm not offended, but I'm not following your.
No, I'm talking about as far as like the city council or the fire chief or the police chief. Like when we get on here talk, we don't talk about y'all's personal life. We talk about the job you do in government. Where
and if you suck at your job, great. I'm going to tell you.
we don't talk about whether you're a good or great man or a bad man or a great husband or bad husband or good wife or bad. We don't talk about none of that stuff. We don't care. Okay. I hope you're good. And if you ever need anything, we would care. But I'm talking about in the end, we're talking about your professional job that our tax dollars pay you to do. And I
want you to make a better community.
Yeah, that's it.
And if I'm wrong that I want you to make a better community, well, all right then come out and say it. Go on the state-sponsored podcast at the Chamber of Communism and tell us that we're wrong, that we don't know what we're talking about, and that's why your downtown looks like shit. That's all I'm saying. That's why you got more fluoride in the water, and we can't.
You don't even live in the city of Portland.
I know I don't live in the city of Portland, but Mr. Spoon goes into Dunkin' Donuts right in the city center and probably gets more fluoride in his coffee than he knows what to do with. But not to mention your own house.
But the point I was trying to get across with them is, instead of them get butt hurt and try to talk bad about us on a personal level, I mean, you can come talk to us on the professional level that we're talking now on the platform. You can talk to me on the phone. You can have
come on the platform.
You can come on here and defend yourself if you feel like you got to defend yourself. We're not talking about your personal life, how many children you have, none of that stuff. That is your personal business.
Or
that's your personal
gigolos. I don't give a shit. I mean, gigolos you got. I don't care.
We spend your professional job that you get paid by tax dollars that come out of our pocket. We have that right. We have that constitutional right. All right. We just want something better for everyone. And if that challenges you and that butt hurts you on a personal level, that's not our problem. That's your problem. Okay.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Next week. All right. So I guess we're done for today, huh? Look at Miss.
Time for you to go to bed. Time for you to go to bed.
Time for me to go to bed. I gotta work. I'll see y'all next week. Maybe. Are you gonna be here, Spoon? Gonna be around?
7 a.m.